Hey everybody, I'm Josh,
And I'm David.
and this is a little So Many Sequels update, news update.
Yeah.
The show,
Yeah.
the show that we still have never named
Right.
because we only do it every now and then
Yeah.
when there's
Whenever we
something.
remember to do it, news show.
Yeah, whenever that we remember and whenever there's something worth talking about. And this
Yeah.
this weekend, there are some things worth talking about in the
Yeah.
movie world. A lot of this episode is going to be dedicated to some of the stuff we learned and saw at DC FanDome, the virtual convention kind of dedicated to the world of DC comics in film and
Yeah.
TV and video games and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
There's every medium they're in now.
did you tune into any of the like live panels or anything?
No, I wasn't able to do that. I was working while it
Yeah,
was on, but I started
yeah,
seeing the trailers trickle into their social media platforms, and I was like, well,
yeah. I
there
uh,
we
I
go.
didn't I didn't check into any of it live either, but I did read a lot of the stories that came out afterward and watch some clips. So let's go ahead and kick off with what I think is the big one. Is
Hmm.
this new trailer for the Batman um,
Yes.
from Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne and Batman. Movie looked good.
Oh
Let's start
boy.
with that. If y'all haven't seen the
I'm.
trailer, it's on our Facebook page, facebook.com/so many sequels. You can watch it there or just, YouTube or whatever.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm,
and it's like it's a significant trailer. Like, it's pretty far away,
mhm.
and it's the first real glimpse of anything we're seeing from it. And they didn't hold back much. Um,
No.
It was a nice 2 minute plus trailer. We got to see a good portion of like how Batman looks. We
Mhm.
saw Robert Pattinson, not just as Bruce Wayne, but like in the Batman transition, which was cool. Um, I this stuck out to me, and I saw it stuck out to a lot of people out there too through comments I read. How like it was crazy how for the first time in this movie, Batman's eye makeup doesn't just disappear when he takes off the cowl.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like
noticed that
you
when.
get to see some of the black smudge he keeps around his eyes.
Yeah, I think you sent me before the trailer came out. You sent me some still shots
Mm,
from that someone had leaked, and yeah, when I saw the grease paint under his eyes,
yeah,
I was like, oh, that's really interesting that they're gonna like keep that as a design and not as like a behind the scenes, like trick.
yeah,
They've done that for like every Batman pretty much has to have that because when you wear those cowls, naturally a little bit of your just normal skin is going to show through and it kind of takes away the effect. And so I love
yeah.
leaving that in. It seems almost more brooding for the real Batman to also wear grease paint.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a convention that we've actually seen before. If you're a fan and you watched the early seasons of Arrow, they had Oliver Queen wearing grease paint and not like a mask of any type, and he wore the grease paint up for like I think the whole first or second season before he actually went to like a proper mask.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really interesting to see that become slightly more embraced. Yeah, but
Yeah, it's
that's like
cool.
a minor detail. I'll tell you, Josh, it's hard to read where people are going to go whenever there's the new Batman or anything trailer these days. But for me, this this trailer was like butter. I don't know. It
It
was
was
like
it was quite good.
it was so good. Everything was crisp.
Mhm.
It was shiny. But at the same time, it just had like a otherworldly feel about it.
It did, and it doesn't look. Um, so in the era of like the of Zack Snyder's Batman,
Mhm.
it was kind of this more over the top fantastical type of world.
Mhm.
And this kind of I felt like brought us back to kind of the more serious feel and realistic tone of of Christopher Nolan's Batman,
Mhm.
while also peppering in some of that otherworldly feel, to use your word, and that kind of timelessness of the Tim Burton Batman.
Mhm.
It felt like this trailer feels like those worlds collided in a good way.
Yeah, it feels like it's picking a lot of the best pieces from various interpretations of Batman. Um, I'd remarked to someone else that it feels like, well, I think I said this to a few people now. It feels like it's set in a time period that didn't exist. Like
Yeah,
the cars are all very modern, but like
right.
the buildings all look
Well,
like
and
they're from like the late 70s, early 80s. Like it's very, it looks like it's a really neat looking movie in terms of its
there's a
design, production designer.
there, there's a word for that I can never remember what it is, but the Gotham television series deployed that same tactic where it was like modern. It was a modern world, and yet like the computers were old, but cars were new, and it's like a meld of all these time periods, and that's exactly what this felt like.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it comes across really cool in this trailer.
it does. We got to
Do you want to talk
see.
about? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say we got to see some peaks at the villain roster in this movie, which is deep. We got to see Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman.
Hmm.
We got to see a
Which
little peek.
I'm all for. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see a peek of Paul Dano's Riddler,
Hmm.
which sounds cool. And
I think we got to hear from him, I guess.
this movie also has Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Hmm.
And is there one more in there that I'm missing? I feel
I
like
don't
there
know,
might
but I can
be.
tell you, I think we briefly hear Andy Serkis as Alfred.
That's right. Yes,
I
and
think.
Andy Serkis is Alfred. Um, and from an article that I read that I had sent to you too, it talked about how during the panel, I guess Matt Reeves kind of discussed how this movie will see Batman in his like second year of crime fighting. So he's not brand new Batman, but he's not like established Batman. But we would be seeing some of these villains at their beginning. So it's like Catwoman's not really Catwoman yet. Riddler's not really Riddler yet. They're like growing into those supervillain roles. So that's also kind of a cool twist on the Batman story.
Yeah, it's sort of, and they kind of got into this a little bit with like at the very end of Batman Begins. You're starting to see how I guess the world of Gotham is responding to Batman.
Yeah.
I guess is the presentation they want to go with, because it's not Batman's origin, but you will start to see these villains or these larger than life type super criminals start to rise up to kind of like meet him. It's that idea of escalation they talk about at the end of Batman Begins, and that's a
Mm-hmm.
really interesting place for Batman, because like he's not like the super experienced Batman that we kind of got with Ben Affleck, or even kind of Tim Burton's Batman. Felt like he had been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
This one, he's not totally world weary, but he is not fresh to it either. I really like not if they don't do anything that references like that directly references the origin of Batman. I'm totally fine with that. We've seen it 1,000 times. We all know what we're getting there.
Exactly. Uh, so so yeah, that's the Batman trailer. Highly
Yeah,
recommend everybody
really
go
cool.
check it
Look it
out.
up.
Very cool. Got a great
Hmm.
cast. Matt Reeves is a good director. You have seen him on our show through Cloverfield, the
Hmm.
first
Yes.
Cloverfield he directed.
That's right. And
So,
I took a couple. I tried to put out for some comments for what people thought. We have one comment from Dr. Mackey, uh,
hmm.
and she said that anything's better than George Clooney.
Well,
So, so,
she's not wrong. She's not wrong at
but she
all.
also said she also said she doesn't know if it'll live up to Michael Keaton's Batman.
That's a fair
So,
critique too. I mean, for a lot of
you know,
people, even through the Nolan Batman movies, they still hold on to Michael Keaton, and I don't blame them. He's a great Batman.
and I'm really interested to see what this incarnation really looks like, because like we talked about, you had the hyper realism at times with the Nolan movies, and the Burton movies kind of had a little bit of that, you know, I don't want to say fantastic because they never really got to quite that point, but I mean, Penguin's
Right.
pretty absurd. The
Yeah.
Joker, it's pretty over the top. it'll be interesting to see, because what I've always wanted is that middle ground Batman, where Batman seems very tangible, but then you have like really crazy villains like Clayface or Mr. Freeze. The closest example I can give is the Batman we get in like the Batman Arkham franchise video game, where you have Batman who looks like he's very realistic, and Joker looks very realistic, and then you have like a 9-foot crocodile man. So like I've always been interested to see if that'll translate to film, is having these kind of absurd characters like you get in the Marvel movies in a Batman movie, but we've never really quite gotten there without it being like really silly, like something in Batman and Robin.
Right.
So anyway,
yeah, check that out. Again, it's on our Facebook page if you haven't found it anywhere else yet. But also in other trailer news, we got the latest trailer for Wonder Woman 1984, which is now set to come out October 2nd in theaters. We got to see, the main thing in this one, I feel like, was we got to see Kristen Wiig as what's her name?
Cheetah.
What's her villain's name? Cheetah. So yeah, Kristen Wiig is like the villain in this movie, which is kind of wild because Kristen Wiig not exactly known for this kind of work. So I'm interested to see how she does it. But it looks great. One of my critiques of the first trailer we got for Wonder Woman 1984 was that it looked like they like shoved it through a Stranger Things filter. And I didn't love that. This one kind of threw all that out and just gave us a look at the movie, and it was so much better. Also, we got a lot more Chris Pine in this trailer, who is just always delightful to watch.
Yeah, I felt like as you get with the closer the trailers get to the movie, you get more of a sense of what the story is supposed to be and how how they're presenting the whole thing. That first one really was kind of like 80s nostalgia, really trying to grab at you kind of thing, really trying to stand out, I think. I think it looks cool. Yeah, we do get to see Kristen Wiig. I'm pretty sure Cheetah is the name of the character, and I don't know if they're going to pronounce it funny or not.
Who knows?
It's been a long time since that character, in my opinion, has really been relevant outside of comic books. So like I remember seeing her on like the old Batman cartoons and Justice League and stuff, but I don't really it's been a while since I've seen her. So I thought she looked interesting. I think that metamorphosis is going to come across in a really cool way. I'm optimistic about it. I really enjoyed the first Wonder Woman.
Yes, I did too. It was the first real surprise of the DCEU because Batman versus Superman was so people didn't love it.
Yeah, and it was mixed reviews. Yeah,
it was very mixed, and that was our first glimpse at Wonder Woman. Was in that movie. So seeing them come out with her own standalone film and it actually being really good was a breath of fresh air for DC. So hopefully the trend continues, because they've done a handful of good movies since then.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of this is going to sound hateful. And I know that there's the fans out there, and we'll talk about this in a minute. But I feel like everything they do that is further away from the Snyder interpretation of things is worked out. Like Aquaman, I thought was fun. I know that it's not necessarily everybody's favorite, but I thought Aquaman was pretty fun. I thought Wonder Woman was good. I thought Shazam was a lot of fun. Yeah. And this new Batman, we've already said, looks really interesting. And so everything outside of that really kind of, I think, pushes things forward in a more interesting way.
Yes, I agree. We also posted that trailer on our Facebook page, so you can go find it there if you can't find it anywhere else. What else can we talk about from DC FanDome? We gotta look at the cast of James Gunn's Suicide Squad. That was fun.
Huge.
I know none of those characters, so that didn't mean much to me. But a lot of the
Harley Quinn.
Well, yes, I know Harley Quinn, of course.
Yeah.
We have Margot Robbie returning, Viola Davis returning, and the person who played Captain Boomerang
Jai
returning.
Courtney, is that his name?
Yes, that's right.
Does that sound right? Yeah.
I think so. So they're returning, but the rest of the cast is all new. We got rid of Jared Leto. We got rid of Will Smith. We got rid of all those people, and now we've got just off the top of my head, Nathan Fillion, very exciting. Flula Borg, very weird.
Yeah. Well, we have
Pete
I can't
Davidson.
remember his name. Pete Davidson, John Cena.
John Cena.
Yeah. And there's this guy named David. I can't remember his last name, but he's actually been like back and forth in the comic book movies for like a while now. He's an Ant-Man and the Wasp. He plays the kind of Russian guy in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And here he is. I think he's playing Polka Dot Man in this, which should work out to be pretty funny.
We've also got Idris Elba.
Yeah, that's right.
And perhaps the one that surprised me the most is Peter Capaldi from Doctor Who.
Yeah, Peter Capaldi. I can't wait. It'll be really interesting to see what how his character works out.
Yeah,
Peter Capaldi is a deceptively good actor. I kind of hope
he is
getting some more stuff.
I enjoy him quite a bit.
And then we got to see some motion graphics for Black Adam.
True. Yes, we got to see what Dwayne The Rock Johnson will potentially look like in his Black Adam suit. Yeah. At first I saw it and I was like, he's not that big. And then I thought about it and I was like, oh yeah, he is that big. He is that big.
You saw this one where they like swooped through this like Egyptian tomb and they like slowly zoom in on Rock's silhouetted, Dwayne Johnson's silhouetted physique. And I was like, as it was happening, I was like, oh, finally, they have some kind of footage. Like, I was like, Dwayne's talking about it like, it's finally here. And I was like, it's finally here. Like, they've been trying to make this movie for like 6 years now or something like that. They announced that Dwayne Johnson was going to be Black Adam. And they finally get to it. And then, it's just a bunch of like concept art with like motion blur in the background, and stuff. And I was like, oh, man, they're still working on it. This movie going to come out in like 2024. But it's kind of interesting because I watched an alternate, another thing they released about it, and it looks like, I think they're really, if they're going to do another Justice League movie, like if they plan to keep some of these actors together and do another Justice League, it really feels like they're setting up Black Adam to be kind of like the big bad of that scenario, because this other video has like The Rock like calling, he's like Wonder Woman, Shazam, Batman, Superman, Flash, Aquaman, watch out, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
He's he's coming for all of them, and that could just be Dwayne, having fun. But it feels like they really want to. If they're gonna give him his own movie, they're gonna make a big deal about it. Maybe they're gonna try to set him up as sort of being the big thing that the Justice League needs to handle next.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So then let's just use that to go into the trailer for Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League coming to HBO Max next year. I didn't watch it, but you did. So how was it?
Yes. Well, from what I think I saw too, they're going to release it as a 4-part miniseries.
Is that what they're going to do?
Yeah, they're going to make it because basically it's a 4-hour film. And so they're just going to cut it into 4 parts, which I think might be the way to go, because 4 hours is, I don't know, it's not that much longer when you think about it, but sitting down and trying to watch a 4-hour movie might feel like a bit of a thing. So you can split it up into 2 nights or 4 nights or however much. It is, I'll tell you this, I think it looks better than what Justice League 2017. There's a lot of little interesting things that clearly were cut out. It's probably some more expansion on the origins of the characters that kind of need origins compared to the Batman and Superman. I don't necessarily think that it looked like, to me, it's going to be like, oh man, this is the greatest movie that's ever been released, but it looks better than Justice League 2017. I think a lot of people have been railing on the song choice for the trailer, and I kind of
I've heard
echo it.
that.
I don't think it was a great choice. I kind of understand. I think I understand why they wanted to use that, but it just gave me it just really honestly it just took me back to Watchmen. Um, uh, and so I have tempered hopes. My view on this has always been that, you know, having one voice is going to make it infinitely better than having two split voices like you had with the movie that came out, where you have Joss Whedon picking up in the middle. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what it is, because I mean, it sounds like he tried to make like two movies out of it. It seems like they probably should have just decided to make this a two-part thing instead of forcing him to try to cut it down to 2.5 hours before he eventually had to leave.
Yeah.
So anyway, it did look good. A lot of the stuff looked like they had been taking some time to polish it up so that it would be ready for this. It looks like we're going to get more with a lot of the characters, and it looks like there was a whole story that we never even really got in that first movie, or in that original movie.
Okay. Well, I don't know that I'll say I'm looking forward to it, but I will try it out. I will give it a chance.
I've watched the trailer, and hey, when it comes out, it seems like it's gonna be pretty easy to digest.
Fair enough. I mean, good.
Like it's a situation where I have to watch it, right? Like, I can't have complained about that movie more, and then when they give me a new version, not watch it.
Yeah.
Got to give it a chance.
Gotta give it a chance, I guess. So that's coming to HBO Max. I don't think they have a date yet, but early next year, I believe, is the goal.
Yeah, I think they want it next year. And then we have some box office stats, right?
Yes. I think that wraps up our DC talk. But yeah, this weekend was the first real weekend of a significant number of movie theaters reopening in the United States. Other countries, they've been open for a little bit now. I think China's had theaters open for at least a few weeks, I believe.
Yeah,
but
I think they may have tried like a month ago, but then they had to close again.
Yeah, the United States is just now getting there, for better or worse. We don't know yet, but Cinemark has reopened a number of theaters, as has AMC and Regal. Those are the three biggest chains in the United States, of course. They're not running at full capacity. Most of them, I think, are cutting off like at 30 to 40%. And not every theater is open in every market. Like New York, California, New Jersey still have complete shutdown of movie theaters. And even in cities even in Tulsa, where there's 2 AMC theaters, only one of them has reopened. So that's going to be the case everywhere. So all that to say, these numbers are very low, but that is because they're not selling out theaters, and all theaters are not open, just a certain number of them.
Yeah.
But Unhinged opened this weekend, stealing the title of first new movie from Tenet and Mulan. Russell Crowe's, I think it's like a thriller, like a scary thriller about road rage.
Yeah.
But it brings Russell Crowe back to the box office, and it opened this
Russell
weekend. Yeah, it opened this weekend with $4 million, which is the highest any movie has made in the U.S. since March.
Yeah.
I don't know what movie it would have been that did it, but I didn't like that article I had, so I was trying to find another one. Oh, yeah, okay. So Deadline says that Friday was about 1.4 million. Saturday was about 1.56 million, so it increased a bit. And that, final numbers are always like Monday. I don't know if that'll be
sometime Monday around noon or afternoon.
The estimate is $4 million. Oh, and I guess theaters
so not
open
estimating
in Canada.
A big increase there.
Theaters open in Canada already, because it opened there last week to $5 million.
Oh, so I mean, It's probably going to
It's
do
all
okay
people got.
compared to what it honestly would have done.
Well, if you want to watch a new movie, that's the only one. Everything else is reruns.
Garrett will be there in about 3 hours.
Let's see. Deadline notes that an interesting piece of the story is that the top 5 locations for Unhinged were drive-in theaters, despite AMC, Regal, and Cinemark all reopening. That's because those drive-ins were in big metropolitan areas where theaters are still closed. Yeah, so Unhinged, the top venues were the Paramount Drive-In in Los Angeles, the Solano Twin Drive-In in Concord, California, the Sacramento Drive-In, obviously in Sacramento, the Ford, Wyoming Drive-In in Dearborn, Michigan, and the Capital 6 Drive-In in San Jose, California. Oh, here we get a little Admiral. Here's a little local shout out, kind of in a way. After the top 5, one of the other top performing locations for Unhinged was the Warren 14 in Oklahoma City.
Oh, okay. Go Warren, Oklahoma. Yeah, I've never been to Warren, Oklahoma City, but I go to the one here in Broken Arrow all the time.
Yeah, agreed. I have not been out there either, but I do enjoy our Warren Theater on this side of the state. So
I thought you were going to say the Admiral Twin made it on there.
No, that would have been cool though. That would have been cool. I don't know that they were playing it. Admiral Twin's been doing like kind of their own thing.
Yeah.
They've been playing drive-in concerts and other such things. So that's it. Movie theaters are back. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, that they stick around and that they don't, cause people to get sick. We don't want that, obviously. The big chains, at least, I've read through their like safety stuff, and it looks like they're doing everything they can do to reopen. If it's enough, we'll find out over the course of the next several weeks, as they actually get in the hang of doing it, and we'll find out if if there's any like big spikes in coronavirus cases tied to it. Hopefully not. Hopefully not,
and it's going to vary by state, unfortunately. So some places are just going to be better than others.
Yep.
But I mean, that's the big news. So if you have any thing you want to say about the DC FanDome event, or what movie you can't wait to see in theaters soon, leave it in the comments.
Yep, please do. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our podcast feed in your favorite podcasting app, and of course, find us on all your favorite social media apps.
Yep, that's right.
All right.
We don't have Andrew here to awkwardly finish the show for us.
I know. Okay, well, I guess that's it then. Oh, Garrett just walked in.
I guess that's it.
Do you want to say hi?
Hey, Garrett.
We're just ending a show about the news.
Oh, how about that Batman trailer?
David said, how about that Batman trailer?
Yeah.
He said, yeah.
Oh yeah, you got.
I got hear you. He can't hear you. Yeah,
well, and if what you said was right, in my brain, it's being built up like Knives Out, but Batman, and like that's I can't contain that in my head.
I had that thought too.
Yeah,
I had that thought too. There's a
Batman as a detective. That's what the movies have been missing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that is in essence of what Batman is. I mean, it started as a detective
comics.
Yes, it doesn't always have to be like superhero. Give me
the greatest
him solving crimes that involve those villains. Like, it doesn't always just have to be this villain of the movie. Give me something like that where he's trying to solve a crime.
Batman solving a crime sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect bad guy for it. It's the Riddler, and they're making the Riddler look threatening.
Yep, agreed.
Me too.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. You will agree with what he said.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we are done. So
yep.
I will leave
that's
all
a good finish.
Yeah, I'll leave all that on. Okay. Yeah. Find us online: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We posted those trailers, and we'll post a couple more. I don't think we posted Justice League yet, so I'll be sure to do that. And look for us next time on whatever our next episode is, depending on when you're watching this.
Yep. See you guys.
Bye.